Again, the reason I come back to speak with people in the chain of command, like I know your captain's aware of the issue of the knife sign, but until officers bring that further up the chain of command and you voice it in the way that your chain of command understands it is a legitimate concern, then the city won't care. The city won't. I'm going to tell you. The police department, James Kopp is the assistant district attorney for the city of San Antonio Police Department. He made sure all the gun signs came down off all the police buildings, but the city left them up everywhere else. And when I find them, I complain. I do, and it takes a lot of effort to get them to remove one sign.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But again, the issue goes back to the same.
Should be a little easier now.
It should be. It really should be. It should be something as simple as, wow, he's right. He made a point. Let's check with the city attorneys, see if we argue his point. I know why the city does it. They don't like that the state preempted them from doing it. So it's a political point. But it's hurting the citizens. It's hurting the citizens. It's hurting the citizens. What are the odds of it happening? Well, it just takes that one time.
Right.
So again, I appreciate you listening to me, Lieutenant Wren. I know I ramble. I don't want to tie you up any longer. Is there anything that you feel I should know as an activist about that sign, or anything you'd like to tell my viewers about?
Well, to my understanding, and as you probably already know, the police department, we don't decide what signs go up.
Right.
As you probably already know that going through your process. But to my understanding, though, that I guess those signs have come up as an issue, where they're warding and whatnot. And so my understanding, City League was currently the ones that are calling the shots on whether or not the signs are going to come down or not. So that was the last update that I've gotten on anything as far as signage goes.
Okay. Can I ask you a different question?
Sure.
So if an officer asked you at this point, hey, there's a guy in here, but we have a sign up, and he has a knife, do we arrest him for it? And under what charge would you arrest him?
Right. No, we would not arrest him.
Okay.
Just like if you were to come in with a handgun, you wouldn't be arrested for that. Obviously, like you had said, and as you're aware of, if they go back in the secured areas and whatnot,
right, big difference in the secure areas.
That they wouldn't. That's what we got the lockers for, to put the weapon in the locker.
And on that, while it may not be the law, if a person came in with a knife and they needed to go into the secure area, you could obviously let them use a firearm locker for the weapon.
Sure. Yeah,
right. And I mean, that's just common sense, but it's not the quote unquote law, but
right.
And you could explain that to them in a polite way, and most people, that's not going to interfere with how they feel. Well, Lieutenant Wren, I appreciate your comments there. To go, it will create problems. Well, I understand that's not your choice. It really isn't. It's the city's choice.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I remember last year that there was some issues with the wordage of the signs that had been up, and
right,
and they had to be swapped out. And
the swapping, and again, cities do this, and it puts my issues. It does put officers in a bad position. But again, when I come out and I hear from you, if an officer asks, we're going to tell them no. We're not enforcing that. That's not a law. That's what's important for me, that I can get that out and down to all the officers.
Yeah.
Because these signs may come down at your buildings. The city will sit back and go, what are they going to do about it? We'll just leave them up. And to me, and I say this, and I know it's a strong word, but to me, the city choosing to do that, and I know you can't comment on this, but to me, that is no different than someone making a terroristic threat, because it implies you will be arrested if you do something you're legally allowed to. We know we can't enforce it, but we're going to leave it up because we know if we leave it up, it'll encourage people to do what we want because we didn't get what we wanted in the state law. And I mean, that's wrong. When the state law was made, they had their chance to vote with their legislators, political action committees, laws pass all the time that I don't agree with, but I have to follow them. Mm-hmm. The city, what they're doing, they're saying middle finger to you, state, middle finger to the citizen. And again, to me, that's a terroristic threat. And I know you may not see it at that high of a level, but that's how citizens see something when they go, it's wrong. Why would they leave it up? I mean, I do appreciate your time. Again, I ramble. I'll be back down here probably in a month, maybe sooner. I come across the city whenever. Again, if your officers tell you, hey, there's some lunatic out here with the fishing pole, that's me. It's one of the props I use. Again,
Your mace?
With my mace, it's just
Yeah, if you're coming here in a lot.
just a perfect example of what I'm referring to. People just don't know. Any
I just
corrections.
I was waiting for an
I'm
officer.
gonna